Have you ever walked away from a woman and wondered hours later if she actually wanted you to make a move? That one glance, that half step closer, that subtle shift you didn't read until it was too late. You thought she was just being nice, but what if she wasn't? What if she was speaking a language you were never taught to understand? Women don't say it with words, they say it with everything else. Today, we decode that silence so you never miss the signal again. According to a 2022 behavioral study, over 70% of women admit they've deliberately used body language to show interest without ever saying a word. But here's the twist. Only 1 in 4 men were able to identify those signals correctly. That means 3 out of 4 men completely miss the message, not because they're not attractive, but because they're not aware. This isn't about being smooth, it's about being present. Because when a woman crosses her legs toward you, when she mirrors your posture, when her pupils dilate just slightly as you speak, those are not accidents. They're invitations, but they're quiet. And if you're stuck in your head, you'll never hear them. If you're tired of being in the 75% who always miss the signal, subscribe now, before this disappears like every chance you didn't take. Because this is where everything changes. One of the most overlooked signals of female desire is proximity without purpose. A 2019 study published in Evolutionary Psychology found that when a woman is sexually interested, she will subconsciously reduce the physical distance between you, even if there's no reason to be near. She doesn't need to touch you. She just wants to be close enough for you to notice. Standing a bit too near when speaking, sitting closer than necessary in a group, accidentally brushing past you in tight spaces. These aren't coincidences. They're unconscious strategies driven by biology, and they're powerful because they're silent. And if you ignore them, she won't repeat the message. Have you ever experienced this before? If you have, drop it in the comments. Here's another signal almost every man misses: the self-touch cue. When a woman is feeling attraction or arousal, she often starts touching herself, not in a sexual way, but in a subtle, subconscious way, twisting her hair, touching her lips, running her fingers along her neck or collarbone. It's not about nerves, it's about drawing attention. A 2018 psychological analysis revealed that women are twice as likely to touch exposed areas of skin when in the presence of someone they're attracted to. It's primal, it's involuntary, and it's happening right in front of most men without them ever noticing. Come a little closer. There's a subtle but powerful detail you need to know. A study by the University of Kent found that women's pupils dilate up to 45% when they're sexually attracted to someone, even if they try to hide it. No smile, no words, no flirting, just eyes. You won't hear it. But if you're paying attention, you'll see it. Most men never look. You will, now. If this opened your eyes even a little, drop a like. It helps more than you think. So what do you do when you recognize the signal? Here's what most men get wrong. They act too fast. They jump in with a comment, a joke, a touch, and they break the moment. But presence is not pressure. When she leans in, you don't lean harder. You stay still. When she gives you the look, you hold it, not with intensity, but with certainty. It's not about chasing the signal. It's about receiving it. Because when a woman feels that you noticed and didn't react like every other man, she knows. She knows you see her. She knows you're different. And that changes everything. That's when everything shifts. She starts leaning in more, not just with her body, but with her energy. You're not chasing, you're not performing, you're just there, and she feels it. You're the man who doesn't flinch when she tests, the man who doesn't reach when she teases, the man who sees but doesn't need. And that difference? It's magnetic. Because while other men break the moment with effort, you hold it with presence. And the more still you are, the more drawn in she becomes, without a single word. This is what she never says but always shows. And now, You see it. The glances, the space she closes, the silent invitations most men never recognize. Not you, not anymore. Because you're not just guessing, you're aware. You don't need permission. You don't wait for validation. You read what's unspoken and move when it matters. So tell me this, what's the one signal you've missed in the past that you'll never miss again? Drop it in the comments. I'm listening. And if you're ready to go deeper, to understand the psychology behind why women pull away after showing interest, watch this next video. It might just explain everything.